Welcome back. Agile practices aren't just for software development anymore. The National Academy of Public Administration has a new list of Agile principles and recommendations for bringing them to every aspect of government. DeSeve is head of the Agile Government Center from the National Academy of Public Administration and the IBM Center for the Business of Government. He's former Deputy Director for Management at OMB. Ed, welcome. It is great to see you again. How did you make this connection between the Agile principles that software developers use and the management sphere in the government?
About a year ago, I sat down with NAPA's president, Terry Gerton, and we talked about many of the things that I've practiced over the years. And we tried together to find a common ground, a common theme or framework. When I saw the Agile principles that had been used and are continuing to be used in software development, it struck a chord with me. I realized, and others have come to the same conclusion, that Agile principles can inform management, not just software development. And so I began trying to develop. I had a rule that no more than 10. If Moses could do it in 10, I can do it in 10. No more than 10 principles were going to be out there.
And you have those 10 listed, and they are mission metrics for success, customer-driven behavior, external network, speed, cross-functional teams, innovation, persistence, evidence-informed solutions, and organizational leaders. You get to 4 recommendations that I want to talk about in the time that we have, Ed. And the first one of those is analyzing your organization to determine its strengths and weaknesses. Where do people usually go wrong in this kind of skills inventory that you're talking about?
Well, what happens, especially if you're a new manager coming into a new organization or a manager coming into a new job, one of the things that they often miss is an understanding of what's going on in their own organization. Sometimes they just assume they know it because they've been around long enough. Other times they're frightened to ask hard questions. You have to start by asking hard questions. How are we doing? How are we communicating? Is our strategy effective? Do we have good external relationships? All these kinds of questions have to be asked very carefully so you can begin to understand where to start from in implementing Agile principles or any other management techniques you may use.
It strikes me that leaders have better metrics and better data than they've ever had, though, at being able to get the real answer to that question, how are we doing? Is that fair, Ed?
I think that's right. I know the employee viewpoint survey wasn't there when I started some years ago. I think it's a very helpful tool. I think reports from GAO or other helpful tools. I have some analytic techniques of my own that I use and have given to other people and they found helpful. Whatever you use, try to get the best view you can of what's going on in your organization and how it's being perceived outside.
The second recommendation that you make in this work, Ed, is creating or leveraging a burning platform, excuse me, to drive change. That's scary, though, not just for rank and file employees, but for some leaders in a government organization, isn't it, Ed?
Well, it's scary, but unfortunately, often you find yourself standing on a burning platform. I think President Obama and Vice President Biden, when they came into office, had a burning platform of the economy. Certainly, Vice President Biden, now President-elect, I like using that, President-elect Biden, has identified 4 or 5 things. Primary among them are COVID and the economy itself, which create a significant burning platform. I stole the idea of the burning platform from John Cotter. I didn't create it. I always reference Cotter when I talk about it. But what you have to understand is what your mission is and what the challenges to achieving your mission are. Those are the 2 things. He also suggests building a guiding coalition. But whatever it is, understand what you're supposed to be doing from your organization, understand how you're going to do it in terms of listening to people around you.
The third recommendation that you make, Ed, is considering Agile at all levels of government, including projects, programs, and the whole of government. You want this from the top all the way to the bottom, it sounds like.
Well, it's even better than that, because we also have been talking to people in the World Economic Forum who use Agile to think about recommendations and recommendations for regulation. We've been talking to others about how to use Agile in policy development, specifically the OECD. We also know that it's easy to think about it in terms of program implementation. So in the three major tasks of government, as well as at local levels, as well as at state levels, as well as at program levels, it's a set of tools. It's like my home repair kit. If you can't fix it with WD-40, a crescent wrench, a screwdriver, and a hammer, and duct tape, then I probably can't fix it. So this is the duct tape. Agile principles are the duct tape of government.
I was really afraid you weren't going to mention the duct tape there at the end, Ed. I'm glad you did. The final recommendation is analyzing results in line with established metrics and using evidence to inform decisions. Thanks to the Evidence Act, this is almost a must now in government, isn't it?
Well, a lot of things are a must. The Government Performance Results Act was a must, and it took it more than 25 years to find its way into the interstices, into the webs of government management. I think it's there now. I think it's like fluoride. It's in the water now and makes our teeth better. But it's going to take time for evidence to be routinely used, for people to default to using evidence as their primary mechanism for informing what's going on. There's too much tradition of, well, we've always done it this way. Well, you've always done it this way. What have the results been from doing it that way? So yes, that's the fourth recommendation for using Agile principles.
Ed DeSeve, thank you very much. It's great to have you back on the program.
Always a pleasure, Francis.